Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanya and I'm co-founder of a children's luxury brand called Zeus and Lexi Kids. And after years in the business around child models, child influencers, and just people trying to break into the business, we get tons and tons of questions of parents asking, how do we do it? How do you get into a casting? How do you get into this business? How do I get my child into commercials? How do I get my child seen? What to wear, what to bring, how to do it. And after years of all those questions, we finally decided to open the curtain and just let you guys in on what we've learned, how we've learned it, and how you can start getting your little model into the right places. The amount of questions and the lack of information there are for parents wanting to break into the business is very limited. I mean, there's agencies trying to get your child signed, so many questions and just not enough information out there. So think of me as your friendly liaison. I mean, don't feel like your child has to TikTok or dance their life away just to get noticed on television. And believe me, I've seen it all. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? What are brands actually looking for when casting child models? Let's start at the basics, because models need a foundation and parents need a little guidance. So first of all, let's talk about what we see all of the time. I've been in many castings. Having a children's clothing brand means lots of models, lots of parents, lots of different personalities. And one thing that always stands out isn't what you think, okay? It's not about the child's looks. Parents show up to castings and they're popping tags off of clothes, we got brand new shoes, and we've got bows on top of bows. I've seen all of the bows. And while cute, that is not what casting is looking for. We've seen the most curated of outfits, okay? Outfits you would think have taken weeks to put together. And you can see the effort that the parents put in from across the room. These kids look phenomenal. This is their moment, I get it. You want your child to be ready. You want them to be confident when they walk into a casting room. So I completely understand why you have them packaged in this perfect little presentation for casting. But from a brand's perspective, I'm gonna tell you something that not everybody's gonna tell you. Although it's nice, that's not what casting is looking for. And that's not what's gonna get your child noticed. Now, I'm not saying show up a mess. Please don't do that. But what casting directors and brand clients are actually looking for has nothing to do with how many bows you put in their hair. And today we're gonna talk about what actually is, because once you know this, it changes everything about how you prepare your child in this industry. So Tanya, if it's not the outfit, it's not the portfolio, and it's not the look, then what is it? Let me tell you what casting directors and brand clients are clocking way before your child takes that first smile, or before they even walk in, before they even see one bow. Let me tell you what they're actually looking at. They're watching how your child is walking in. Do they walk in like they own the room? Do they walk in like they're supposed to be there? Or do they walk in scared and timid? Right? Does the casting director feel like they gotta rescue your child because they look so petrified? That's what we're looking at. That's what brands wanna see. Because trust and believe, that look of fear and terror that your child is walking in, clinging to the parent's leg, that's what we're gonna get on camera. And I've seen it dozens of times. I've seen the cutest little girl with the perfect ringlets come into a casting and they're clenching their mom's legs so tightly with white knuckles that I'm like, we gotta rescue her. She's about to have a panic attack. When your child comes in, they have to come in with that confidence, that calmness that says, I've been in this room before, I know what I'm doing. Even if they've never been into a casting before, they have that confidence and they know how to present themselves. That's what we're looking at when your child first comes in. Do they feel like they belong there? And listen, we're talking about kids, so they're gonna be a little nervous. We expect that part. We expect them to have to be warmed up a little bit. And trust and believe any casting director or brand clients that are there, they understand that. When we're working with kids, we want the child to be happy. We want them to be themselves. We want them to show their personality. And of course, that's gonna take some warming up. I want you to imagine this. You are looking for a model for your brand, and you have two adorable children come into your casting. One child gives you a timid smile and goes and clings behind the parent's leg. You can barely see them. All you see is the pigtails hanging out. The next child walks in, smiles calmly, and just waits there, stands there, ready and comfortable to walk. Which one are you gonna go with? It's gonna be that second child every time. It has nothing to do with looks. It has nothing to do with personality. We didn't even get that far yet. It has to do with preparation. And preparation is gonna get them booked and ready every single time. The second thing is their energy in that room. There's a difference between a child who is jittery and one that is calm. And casting directors can feel that energy in the room immediately. A child who's fidgeting, looking around the room, pulling at their mother's sleeves, communicates one thing, and a child who walks in, takes a breath, and is comfortable in their own skin communicates something completely different. And I want to be so clear about something. We're not looking for robotic and we're not looking for stiff. We want your child to play. We want them to be themselves. We want to see their personality. If they want a cartwheel away. We're trying to get that on camera because that is what kids do. We want to embody that personality of the child because it's going to resonate with other children. And the whole point of this is for a brand to see themselves in your child, in their everyday life. So we want them to be playful. I'm talking about that natural ease, that comfort, that makes you look at a child and say they're ready. That quality is gonna have a casting director stopping mid-scroll from a stack of submissions and say, call that one back. The third thing they're looking for, and this is a huge one, is how well they take direction. A brand rep or a casting director might ask for something simple. Turn this way. Look that way. Give a big smile. Give me something serious. And in that moment, they're not looking at how pretty your child is. They're not looking at how many bows. They're looking at, can this child take direction? Do they listen? And listen, I've had 2-year-olds come out for castings. I've had 4-year-olds come out for castings. It's not about not letting your child be a child. It's about their ability to just take direction. And I've had 2-year-olds who turned this way, turned that way, and gave a big smile when asked to. And it has something to do with that calmness and readiness to listen. Because let's think about this from the brand's perspective. They're looking for someone who can represent their product. That shoot has a schedule, it has a crew, it has a budget, and it has a timeline where things have to be done at a certain time. They need a child who can hear the direction and execute it quickly, confidently, and without the parent having to step in every 5 minutes. Yes, we want the parent there, but we don't want them to have to translate everything that the photographer is saying. And that skill isn't something that every child naturally has. It has to be built through practice, through training, through being put in a situation where someone gives them directions and they have to figure out how to deliver it. And that muscle gets stronger every time they practice it. Now that we've talked about the child, let's talk about what the parents are actually doing wrong in the room. And I'm saying this with love. When you know better, you do better. And this might be one of the most important parts of this video because a lot of the times parents think it's all about what your child is doing and what your child is doing wrong. And I'm saying this with complete respect because every parent loves their child, right? And if you want to see them succeed, you have to take accountability for what you may or may not be doing in that room as well. Because some of what parents do in those castings can actually hurt your child's chances without them even realizing it. The first thing is answering for your child. A casting director comes in and they ask, what's your name? And before the child can even open their mouth, mom is answering for them. This is Bella. She's 4 years old. She loves modeling and she just did a photo shoot last month. That child just lost the job. Because what the casting director really wanted to see was whether your child could answer for themselves. Could they speak clearly? Could they answer confidently? Did they know why they were even here? And mom just took that moment away. Please, I'm begging you, let your child answer. Even if it takes a second, please understand that casting directors and brand reps know that they're speaking to children. Even if they take a moment to gather their thoughts, even if they whisper it, the casting director has to hear that. They want to know that if they can speak to you, that means they can listen and they can hear what we're saying. So give them that moment. Let them own it. Let them have that moment to express themselves. The second thing is when parents coach from the corner, and you know what it looks like. Mom's sitting against the wall and she's mouthing things to the child. So instead of showing up confidently, the child is looking to the left, seeing what mom is doing. She's pointing, she's throwing directions, she's throwing up gang signs back there. Casting director sees everything, and what it translates to the casting director is that your child can't perform without a co-pilot. And that's not what they're looking for. Your job as a parent in that room is to be invisible. Give supporting energy, but be invisible. Let your child come in that room and show the casting directors what they came to do. The last one, and this is pretty rare, but it still happens, is when a parent disagrees with the direction that the casting director is giving. So the casting director tells your child to pose a certain way or to do something, and the parent jumps in and says, oh, well, this isn't her strong point, or can she do it like this instead? She knows how to do it like this way. That is the fastest way to oblivion. And by oblivion, meaning your child's submission at the bottom of the stack. We don't want that. Casting directors talk, okay? And difficult parents are very memorable. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Your child is a talent and you are the support system and the ride. And knowing the difference in those two roles is one of the most important things you can remember in this industry. So let's bring this all together, shall we? What brands are looking for has little to do with outfits, portfolios, or whether your child is the cutest one in the room. What they're actually looking for is a child who walks in with presence, confidence, is comfortable, who takes direction and delivers, and whose parents know how to let them shine without getting in the way. Every single one of those things can be learned, practiced, and built with the right foundation. And that's exactly why the Zeus and Lexi Model Academy was created. We work with children and teens to actually build a foundation of what this industry requires. Not the stuff parents assume matters, but the real things. The things I just talked about in this video, and we dive deeper into the program because there's so much more than one video can actually cover. If you're serious about giving your child a real shot and want them to walk into castings prepared, then click the link in the description below for the Academy and look at what we actually offer. And if this video gave you something useful, click the link and subscribe down below because I'm here every week breaking down the real side of this industry and helping parents navigate how to get their child started the right way. And I'll see you guys in the next one.